Hi everyone, I am here with a January reading wrap up. So this month has been a very good month for me. I have read 5 books so far and I am currently reading a 6th. It's nearly a couple days till the end of the month, so I will mention that book towards the end of the video, just so you guys can see what I am currently reading. I just want to also say that I have now ventured out into other genres. So I've started reading not just fantasy, but I've been reading a bit of dark romance, which is quite a new sort of genre to get into for me. And I have also decided that from this month, I have decided I am not going to be doing my prompt jar on like picking the books that I'm going to be reading, because I have figured out that I am a major mood reader, okay? So it's a bit difficult sometimes when you're picking out multiple books. You get to like a stage and you're like, I'm not really wanting to read it, or sometimes I am reading something and I'm just like not really into it at the time, but then I end up really enjoying the book, so it can be quite difficult. So I've just decided I'm going to read stuff that I want to read, and just do that from now on. So far this month I have read 3 physical books and 2 Kindle books, and currently my 6th book is on my Kindle as well, so possibly 3 Kindle books. But I just wanted to say that I'm really loving reading on my Kindle. I've been using this since Christmas, since I got it, and I have just loved every single second of it. I feel that it is just such a handy device to take into work with me when I want to like put it in my bag. It's just so much easier than like lugging a book around. It's so much lighter. The charge on this lasts for so long. I think I hadn't charged it for quite a few weeks, and it only yesterday told me it was running low. So it's insane. I also find that in the evenings when I'm reading in bed, that I prefer reading on my Kindle, because I read in the dark like mode setting. So with that, it's better for my eyes personally. And also sometimes when you're reading in the dark, like text is like tiny in books, and with the Kindle you can set it to your preference, and I really like that about it. So starting off the month, I read Hunting Adeline. Now this is the 2nd book in the Cat and Mouse duet series, and for me I did rate this 3 stars, so it was 3 stars, and I will explain my reasoning. So with this book, obviously it's a dark romance. It has really dark themes within. It's quite explicit in detail, and it's just a lot, and there are a lot of triggers in there as well. Now obviously I will suggest always check your trigger warnings, because there's a lot in this that obviously could affect someone who's reading, so definitely look out for all the trigger warnings before you go into it. This 2nd book, Hunting Adeline, is also a lot darker than the first. I really enjoyed the first. I gave it about, I think, a 4-star. The first one, I did enjoy it a lot more. It wasn't as dark as this one. So with this one, going into it, obviously, it follows on from the story, and yeah, it was a lot. And for me, I just was like, it gets a bit uncomfortable. So it's when it's like the unconsensual sort of side of things within the book, it does get very uncomfortable to read, and that's kind of where I stand on that. Like I understand with dark romances, it's kind of like some books are on like the edge of it being like that. So with like some of the books I've read about 3 dark romances so far. I'm currently reading one now, so kind of 3.5. It's kind of on that sort of edge of not being unconsensual, but also kind of, so like they don't mind like some of the stuff that's happening, some of the characters in these books that I've been reading, but when it's like fully like, no, it's very uncomfortable to read. And I will say for this book, if you aren't wanting to read all of the kind of detail, I've heard that you can skip the first 22 chapters. Now, I will correct myself if I've got that wrong. I'll double check on that. But if you skip them, you can kind of find out what's going to happen and read the rest of the end of the book, because it talks about what's happened, but it doesn't go into the detail and like the explicit sort of detail that it does in those first 22 chapters. So you can still find out what happens. So if you aren't comfortable to like properly read it, then you could do that. Obviously, if you're uncomfortable reading any of these sort of books, then I would suggest putting them down. Don't finish them. It's okay to DNF a book. So yeah, I would say that. I did think that the books were written well, though. I will say that. Like, I feel like they did have plots and it did keep it quite interesting. So yeah, that's why I did rate it sort of like the 3-star on that one. I've also realised my parents watch my YouTube videos, so I do apologise about these books that I've been reading, but they're all like books that people have recommended to me, and you know, I just wanted to try out different genres, so
don't lie.
Stop! It's fun. It's fun to like read different things. So yeah. My second book that I read this month was of course, dark romance. It's called Lightsout by Novessa Allen, and it is a comedic dark romance. Now, I really enjoyed reading this. I'm going to give you a bit of backstory as to what this is about. So it follows a main character called Ali. She is a trauma nurse, and then it also follows a male main character who's called Josh. Now, Josh actually creates masked thirst traps online, okay, and his account has millions and thousands of subscribers, right, and no one knows who he is. So you can imagine it's a bit out there, but he realizes that Ali has been commenting on his posts. Now, Ali is his best friend / roommate's ex-fling. But he's very intrigued by Ali, okay? And he kind of likes her. So he decides to take her comments literally. So when she types that she wants him to break into her house, you can kind of guess what he does next. Now, the funniest part I found to this book was when he was breaking into her house, okay? He was getting so annoyed with her in his head because of how easy it was to break into her house that he had sent a whole security system to her that she could set up so that other people couldn't break into her house except from him. I was just like, what is this? But it was so funny. The way it was worded and the way it was read, it was comedic. And I want to just thank everyone that recommended this book to me, because it's really funny, and I do recommend it to anyone that wants to have a laugh. But obviously you still remember that it is dark romance too. The next book I read was Quicksilver. This is by Callie Hart, and I loved this book, okay? It's now one of my favourites. I've just realised I've lied to you guys. I've only read one physical book this month, and the rest I've read on my Kindle, because I read this on my Kindle and I read Onyx Storm on my Kindle. It's just because I've got the physical book. I thought I'd read it. No, that's so funny. Okay. Sorry guys, so I did read this in Kindle format. This book has caused utter chaos, so let's get into the story. So this book follows Ceres, I'm going to say that. This book follows Ceres, and she unknowingly opens up another world, okay? She opens up the Fae world, where we are introduced to no other than Kingfisher, okay? A Fae warrior, need I say more? So you just know it's going to be a good book. So yes, we are introduced to the one and only Kingfisher. Can I get a fan in here, because woo! Kingfisher is amazing, right? So he is ultimate book boyfriend. Up there, okay? Up there with Xaden. Up there. So he is bringing all the angst, okay? With his attitude, with the storyline, with the spice, the whole thing. I'm angsty right now, okay? So, yes. He really is such a great part of this book. Now, the more I look at this, I realise Callie Hart just writes incredible characters and just the detail she uses. Let's focus on Ceres, okay? Let's go back to her, because she is so strong-willed, and I just love when an FMC, you know, she just grabs the reins and does what she wants, and this is what this girl's done. So I will just put that out there. She didn't meet Kingfisher and just, you know, fall on the floor. No. She is so strong-willed. So she is so strong-willed that she will not back down. And I love that about it. Like, she did not fumble one bit. Not for no man. And I appreciate that. So I did, yes. I did give this a 5-star. A 5-star from me. 5 gold stars, right? Because this was my most anticipated read, and I loved every single second of it. And you bet I pre-ordered book 2 special edition signed, and it better not disappoint, like, because this one didn't. And I am hoping that Kingfisher is not going to do any sort of Tamlin situations, okay? He better steer clear, because he is a no Tamlin vibe. So if book 2 upsets me like that, it better not, because I'll be having words. But that's my views on Quicksilver. Okay, looking back at that, I did just realise that whole Tamlin comment came out of nowhere, but I was thinking it in my head, okay, beforehand. And, you know, when I mentioned Kingfisher, you know, did I mention that I love Kingfisher? I don't think I did. When I mentioned Kingfisher, I just have to say I'm hoping it's not another Tamlin situation, because it's just, that can't be happening. Not in this book, not in Quicksilver. I have put my neck on the line trying to defend Kingfisher, you know, big him up. So Callie Hart, don't do that to us, please. Thank you. Sorry, just had to have a little refreshment, a little cool down before the next book, because just got a little bit carried away there, didn't I? Okay, I think I've cooled off now. So, I'm going to get into the next book, which I read, and that was The Baby Dragon Cafe. So, I was sent this book from HarperCollins UK, and this is the only book that I've actually physically read, which was kind of perfect. A nice little short read. So I sort of read this after Quicksilver, because I needed something just before Onyx Storm came out. So I read this because it's only just over 300 pages long. So I'm just going to give you a bit of backstory as to what this is about. It follows Saphira, and she owns a baby dragon cafe. So in this world, people can have baby dragons. They are very cute and adorable. And she's kind of going through a bit of money issues and things. She's having to replace a lot of stuff because, you know, baby dragons cause a lot of mischief and mayhem. And when they burn your over $3,000 espresso machine, you can't keep affording to buy one. So she's going through a bit of money issues at the time, okay? And she then meets Aiden, and he is part of one of the wealthiest families in the book, and they are very sort of dragon breeding heavy. Like, their family is like well known for a certain type of dragon, and he has inherited a dragon from his brother. So he takes Sparky, his dragon, into the cafe, and he decides that Saphira would be the perfect person to train Sparky on how to get some manners. So he then hires Saphira to train Sparky, and she's kind of trying to get Aiden to join in on the training, so he's also part of it, because the dragon has to have a connection with its owner, okay? This is where all the sparks start to fly. As you can kind of guess, it gets into a bit more of a romance sort of book. All in all, I gave this a 4 star. It was a really good read. It's very cutesy, adorable and wholesome, small town sort of romance. And the second book is due to come out next year, and I'm very excited for it. I will be definitely reading because it's very cutesy. This book, I think a lot of people were getting a bit confused, thinking it will have a bit of spice in it. It doesn't. It's just a cute romance book, just to let everyone know who's wanting to read it. We have got book number 5, Onyx Storm. Now, this is the 3rd instalment into the Emprium series, and can I say, most anticipated read, and it is a 5 star. Did not disappoint. I don't want to go into too much detail as this book has just come out. It's the big rave at the moment. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I've done a couple videos already, and I've done a blog post on it, just like all spoiler free, and I just want to say this book dragged me through the emotions. It made me laugh, it made me cry multiple times, and it made me confused too. It's just incredible, and I really do recommend it. And if you know, you know, so get on it if you haven't already, because yes, is all I can say to this. Rebecca Yaris, I will be sending you my therapy bills after this, okay? Also, the ending got me so shocked. I just want to also say as well, all of the things I thought that were going to happen didn't. I was wrong. All my theories were wrong. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they were wrong, and it shocks me to the core, and I'm still never going to recover. Never, but so worth it. Read it if you haven't. Read the whole series. So that is all 5 of the books that I've read for January. I'm currently reading Credence on my Kindle. I'm about 20% in. Not much has really happened, so I can't really comment on like my rating of it so far, because I haven't got to like the kind of gritty part of it yet. It is another dark romance that I am reading, but so far it's been okay. It's been reading okay. A lot of people recommended Credence as well, so yes, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. I kind of know what's going to happen because I've heard stuff, so I do already sort of can tell what's going to happen, but yeah, I'm still going to read it and see what I think to it. So I will be letting you guys know what I think of Credence in February's wrap up. But talking of February, before I filmed my YouTube video, I was filming a prompt video to pick 4 books to go for a poll for my book club, so that we can pick February's read. So I'm just going to show you what I picked basically. So these are the 4 options that we have. So I'm going to create a poll, and then everyone gets to select what book they would like to read next. So if anyone would like to join my book club, you are welcome to. You'll see it linked in the description of this video as well, so you can find it there if you want to join. Everyone's welcome. So the books that we have got to choose from are The Hurricane Wars, Flawless, Shadow and Bone, and Mistborn. So I feel like these were some good choices, and yeah, I used my prompt jar to basically pick them. So it's a fun way to do it because I didn't want my prompt jar to go to waste, because now I'm a bit of a mood reader. I just don't want to waste it. I think it's a great idea, so I still wanted to incorporate it somehow. So I feel like this is a fun way to do it. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. So I've done really well with my reading, I think, for January, so I'm very proud of that. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, because all my social platforms, across all of them, I've been doing quite well recently. So I do appreciate everyone. And I was getting to a bit of a stage where I was feeling a bit burnt out. So I was getting a bit, I was slacking a bit with my videos and stuff. So I'm kind of more up to date with everything. I'm trying to get back into it. Cam's really helped me out. He does a lot of my editing and my thumbnails, which I'm very grateful for. And it's really helped me out because now I can read a bit more, and all I have to do is like film. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. And I'm just very excited to see where 2025 leads. But I do want to thank everyone for supporting me. So the mushy thank you over. But yes, if everyone has enjoyed watching my video, then more of my videos will pop up now. So please do check them out. Thank you again to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!